Before anything else today, now seems like as good a time as any to finally go about evolving Gaster, so let's do that real quick. I'll trade Jack the Shiny Spearow, which, yes, I did find this. I found this in a separate playthrough of FireRed. Basically, the way I had to go about doing all this is I had to trade all of my Pokemon from an old FireRed save file into another FireRed save file. Just so I could do it this way. But, I mean, it works out. I already had a completed FireRed save file from like a year ago, over a year ago, so that's just where we are. It was a pain in the ass, though. So Jack the Shiny Spearow, and we will trade for Gaster. I think this trade is okay. This is my first time seeing the trade menu for FireRed and LeafGreen. It honestly looks really nice. It's not our first time seeing this animation, though. Actually, yes, it is. Because all the in-game trades use the wireless adapter animation. We're using the link cable here. Hello, Gaster. And Gaster is evolving. That was a very smooth transition into the evolution, too. Hell yeah. Gengar's sprite looks so cool in this game. It's so cool. He looks so evil. I love it. It's way better than Haunter's sprite in this game, and that's saying something because I like Haunter's sprite in this game. And now just for a quick trade back. After looking at Gaster, I guess. Okay, weren't we at 108 special as soon as we traded Haunter to evolve it in Generation 1 as well? That's like insane coordination on my part. Okay. Well, welcome to Gangardom, Gengar, Gaster. After doing that, our trainer card has been updated to say Pokemon Trades 2. Because we have had 2 Pokemon trades. That makes sense. More on this later. We forgot Pidgeotto's bio. That starts right now. So, I realized that I completely forgot to go over Pidgeotto and Pidgeot somehow in the last episode, so that's what this is. Pidgeotto! Pidgeotto is actually pretty solid as a physical attacker in Generation 3, though I'd say it's better as a normal type than as a flying type. Pidgeotto excels at moving first and using moves like Return, Double Edge, and Steel Wing to deal heavy damage to its opponents, with Aerial Ace as a reliable flying type move that never misses, and certain types of hidden power for type coverage, or to fight off its most common electric weakness. The worst I can say about Pidgeotto is that its defenses suck. But that can easily be remedied by simply reaching level 36 and letting Pidgeotto evolve. There's not much more to say about Pidgeot than Pidgeotto. All the same stuff still applies, just with better defenses and even stronger attack. Don't rely on Pidgeot as a flying type, but if you're counting on it to be a normal type, it'll do just fine. Exactly 56 seconds. Awesome. I stopped the stopwatch just in time. Alright, hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we did everything we could do up through our battle in the Fuchsia City gym. Yeah, I decided not to show the whole, like, oh, last time you played thing, because it's a little bit wrong. It showed me some stuff about Victory Bell, which was like halfway through the last episode. Not at all, like, a good explanation of what happened even towards the end of that episode. This time, we're going to be doing everything there is to do up until our 6th gym battle in Saffron City, and that means we are starting with the Safari Zone. Welcome to the Safari Zone. For just 500 Poke, you can play the Safari game. You can roam the wide open Safari and catch what you like. Would you like to play? I would. That'll be 500 Poke, please. We only use a special kind of Pokeball here. 30 Safari Balls. We'll call you on the PA when you run out of time or Safari Balls. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Welcome to the Safari Zone. Yeah, it gets its own splash art, which means even the game considers this a dungeon. But it's fine. Right off the bat, instead of 500 steps, we get 600. This is a huge improvement, allowing us a bit more lenience when it comes to grabbing all the items in here, of which there are many. Let's get into an encounter real quick and talk about the mechanics in the Safari Zone. What?! Are you kidding me?! Huh?! Oh, it's gonna be one of those recording days. Okay. Safari Balls were slightly nerfed. Instead of being an equal to the Ultra Ball, they're equal to a Great Ball. This is made up for by the fact that Pokeballs aren't a pain in the ass to understand anymore. So let's go over the battle mechanics here. In FireRed and LeafGreen, Pokemon actually have a separate chance for the Safari Zone along with a flee rate. A separate catch chance, specifically. The flee rate is very simple. It changes depending on what state a Pokemon is in, which you can judge by what the game says a Pokemon is doing at the end of any given turn. Watching carefully is a neutral state, and there are also the eating state, which a Pokemon enters when you throw bait, and the angry state, which a Pokemon enters when you throw a rock. In Generation 3, neutral and eating states are way better than in Generation 1. For most Pokemon, throwing bait reduces a Pokemon's chance of fleeing all the way down to 5%, with the sole exceptions being the rare Pokemon Chansey, Kangaskhan, Scyther, Pinsir, Tauros, and Dragonair, which have it reduced to 10%. Making Pokemon angry sucks. For rare Pokemon, it increases their flee rate to 90%, making it almost guaranteed that they'll flee. For Dratini, it sets it to 70%. For evolved but not rare Pokemon, it sets it to 50%, and for unevolved Pokemon, it becomes 30%. For Magikarp specifically, it becomes 10%. Catch rate is more complicated. Basically, what the game does is it takes a Pokemon's base catch rate, converts it to a unique Safari Zone catch rate, then converts it back to a normal catch rate to use in calculations. The issue is, this calculation ignores decimals, so the results tend to get really, really inaccurate. Catch rates in the Safari Zone are always lower than outside of the Safari Zone, which sucks. However, these chances are still almost always better than in Generation 1, which is hilarious. For example, Psyduck's Safari Zone catch rate goes from 28% in Generation 1 to 40% in Generation 3. The actual equation is as follows. A Pokemon's Safari catch rate is 101,275ths of a Pokemon's base catch rate rounded down. So for Tauros, its Safari catch rate is 3.5. 3, since it's rounded down. Then from there, to get the final catch rate, it's the Safari catch rate times 1,275/100ths rounding down. This leaves Tauros' final catch rate at 38.25 or 38, which is actually 7 less than its catch rate would normally be. So how are these catch rates modified by bait and rocks? Well, throwing rocks or bait will alter the catch rate for 1 to 5 turns. Throwing bait halves the catch rate, while throwing a rock doubles it. Throwing multiple will stack the effect, up to a maximum of 6 turns, and the catch rate is never reset during an encounter. The catch rate will also never go lower than 3 when throwing bait, or higher than 20 when throwing a rock. Because the catch rate doesn't go over 20 when throwing a rock is typically completely worthless. Meanwhile, throwing bait at a rare Pokemon like Tauros or Kangaskhan won't decrease our catch chance, but you still get the benefit of a Pokemon using its eating flee rate. And in the case of Chansey, throwing bait increases its catch rate from 4.9 to 8.1, while also using its eating flee rate of 10%. Bait in Generation 3 is objectively the better option. Unlike in Generation 1, bait puts the odds in our favor, and we basically want any Pokemon we plan to catch to always be in an eating state. However, of course there's an oversight, because an almost fun-sounding Safari Zone is too good to be true. The flee check for a Pokemon is performed at the start of every turn, and it uses the state of the Pokemon on the previous turn. So regardless of whether or not you throw bait, if the game says a Pokemon was watching carefully at the beginning of the last turn, the Pokemon is using its neutral flee rate, not its eating one. Essentially, think of it as a one-turn latency between throwing an item and that item affecting a Pokemon's flee rate. This does give you the option to throw a rock followed by a Safari Zone as a last-ditch effort, which can be fun, taking advantage of the increased catch chance before the game runs a check to see if the Pokemon flees, but that still means there's a 45% chance for every single rare Pokemon in the Safari Zone to escape at their first opportunity, and it isn't avoidable. Overall, Pokemon are still easier to catch, but it's still a pain in the ass, especially when I'm using a Tauros on my team. Or when a Chansey is the first goddamn thing I encounter. Okay, we're throwing bait and just hoping to God that this works out. Okay. So it's still using its neutral flee rate, so it has a 45% chance of running here, which I'm not psyched about. Here's a Safari Ball. Nope. Oh! Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna keep throwing balls. It's still eating. It only has a 10% chance of running right now, essentially. Only one. Keep eating. I love the idea that these guys are just unbothered while you're throwing Pokeballs at them. Watching carefully. Oh, I should not have thrown another ball. It has an actively lower catch rate than the last time I threw a ball right now. Are you kidding me? Five balls? Oh my god. A rare and elusive Pokemon that is said to bring happiness to those who manage to catch one. I am very happy right now, yes! I am very glad to get this out of the way very early. Your Japanese name is more fitting than your, like, US name, right? Like, localization name right now. You're lucky. But hold on, are you really lucky? Okay. Chansey has a 10% chance of holding an item called the Lucky Egg. It's 5%. Since you can't use Thief on Chansey, you have to just catch a bunch of them and hope to God one of them's holding it. The Lucky Egg is a great item, which we'll talk about in Chansey's bio. Which I will go over now. Because we have a lot to do in the Safari Zone. And the bios will take up about 11 minutes, so let's go over those now. Execute's still a pretty good option, being able to evolve right away through the use of a Leaf Stone. I just recommend making sure it knows Sleep Powder before you let it evolve, as Exeggutor doesn't get a sleep-inducing move otherwise. Other than that, all of Execute's best moves, Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Psychic, Explosion, Hidden Power, and more, can all be learned through TM or Move Tutor. Exeggutor is an excellent special sweeper, especially when making use of the Sunny Day TM available in this very area you can first catch Exeggcute. Chlorophyll boosts Exeggutor's speed stat up to 110 roughly, allowing it to outspeed many threats and sweep with moves like Solar Beam, Psychic, and certain types of hidden power. Exeggutor can also be excellent at stalling, using Sleep Powder to put foes to sleep, and Leech Seed and Giga Drain to restore its own HP. Exeggutor is somewhat powerless against special walls, and it takes serious damage from commonly leveled flying or bug-type Pokemon, but when it finds the opportunity to set up Sunlight, especially in single player, there is very little that can be done to stop it. Rhyhorn is still pretty solid. With access to Rock Blast through Level Up or Rock Slide through Move Tutor and Earthquake through Level Up, albeit pretty late, it already has strong stab options that weren't available to it in its debut generation. On top of this, at level 57, or 68 if you dare to evolve it, Rhyhorn gets Mega Horn, a very powerful bug-type move that does a great job of covering its weakness to the grass type. Rhyhorn's outstanding attack and defense allow it a solid presence against many more physically inclined opponents, though going against water and grass types, you're still likely going to need a pivot, as Rhyhorn has very little it can do against them, especially before getting Mega Horn. The only real change to what I said with Rhydon would be access to even more moves. Rhydon has near normal type levels of TM compatibility and can add moves like Brick Break or Focus Punch to its already pretty strong arsenal. The only real problem is that Rhyhorn doesn't evolve until level 42, which can feel like quite a slog. But if you're willing to put up with the wait, it's well worth it for a Pokemon as strong as Rhydon. I'm going to say that straight up, unless you want Bite at level 22 or Crunch at level 53, you should save yourself the trouble and evolve Nidorina right away. It doesn't miss out on anything truly notable by evolving early and will be able to stand up to foes infinitely better as Nidoqueen than it can as Nidorina. Nidoqueen gets access to an incredible variety in moves via TM, including Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Iron Tail, and even Sludge Bomb, if you're willing to keep her in your team until late into the postgame. Nidoqueen's greater bulk than her male counterpart also makes her an ideal user of the counter move tutor, able to take physical hits well and return them with twice the power. The thing is though, that's really all I can say for Nidoqueen over the male equivalent, unfortunately. Nidoqueen lacks access to a very important move that Nidoking does get, and it makes her just a bit lacking as a result. This isn't to say that Nidoqueen is bad, it can handle hits well even from its relatively abundant weaknesses and return them with sizable damage of its own, but Nidoqueen is just a little underwhelming. I'd say the same for Nidorino as I did for Nidorina. Unless you desperately want Horn Attack at level 22 or Horn Drill at level 53, evolve it right away. Nidoking gets an important move through level up that Nidorino doesn't, and it really isn't worth skipping for Flatter or Horn Drill. Nidoking is an extremely powerful wall breaker in FireRed and LeafGreen, getting access to Mega Horn at only level 43 to defeat Grass and Psychic Pokemon that would otherwise pose a challenge. This is on top of it getting the same excellent TM and Move Tutor compatibility as Nidoqueen, with access to Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, Rock Slide, Thunderbolt, and more, and a decent enough stat spread that it can even keep pace with a lot of faster opponents. Nidoking is such a well-rounded Pokemon with such great access to such varied moves that there is genuinely very little reason to choose Nidoqueen over it. If you've never used a Nidoking in the late game, I highly recommend it. It's a fun time. Parasect is pretty devastatingly bad. Its attack stat is good, but it really doesn't get great moves to support it, especially before the post-game. What Parasect's best stat would be in a supporting role. It's the only Pokemon in the Kanto region with access to Spore to put Pokemon to sleep with 100% accuracy, and if you're willing to put up with it until level 59, it also learns Aromatherapy to heal status conditions for your team. However, with 2 4x weaknesses to both fire and flying, and a weakness to ice, rock, and bug types as well, on top of a speed stat of only 30, Parasect will rarely get a chance to do much against a competently leveled opponent. And this is on top of its ability conflicting with its main draw in Spore. Overall, even Butterfree is a better option, with Sleep Powder just barely being less accurate than Spore coming from Compound Eyes, and its stat distribution being far less debilitating. Chansey is a special wall and nothing else. It can't even really do competent damage with special attacks anymore due to the special stat split. Chansey's TM and Move Tutor compatibility is off the charts, and it does get access to some good moves for stalling out opponents like Soft Boiled, Reflect, Light Screen, Minimize, Thunder Wave, Sing, Toxic, Substitute, Protect, and more. But I cannot stress enough that even a single physical attack will spell the end for Chansey without fail. This bio would be a very different story if Bluesky was available before the post-game, but unfortunately it isn't, so Chansey just has very little interesting I can say about it. I will say though that Chansey has a 5% chance of holding a lucky egg, and while this on top of Chansey's naturally extremely low encounter and catch rates is going to be a tough pill to swallow, it's probably worth catching a few Chansey to get this item. The Lucky Egg increases EXP gains by 150%, and this can genuinely make a huge impact on the amount of time it takes to level up your Pokemon, especially if you're adding a new team member to your team relatively late into the game. It'll be suffering to try and get one with a Lucky Egg, but it can really be worth the pain. Kangaskhan is a pretty well-rounded Pokemon with bulky defenses, great HP, decent enough speed and attack, a fantastic move pool, and stab from return and double edge. Early Bird also allows Kangaskhan the benefit of only needing to stick it out one sleep turn if you decide to use Rest. Shadow Ball and Earthquake can fill its final movesets quite nicely, and Fake Out is a great option just to get some chip damage on switch in. Give Kangaskhan some leftovers to hold, and you're pretty much set. I really don't have much bad to say about Kangaskhan. Keep it out of the way of fighting types, which it can have a hard time dealing with, and it'll be just fine. Venomoth's best quality is how fast it is, being able to use Sleep Powder to varying levels of success, then set up a substitute and deal good damage using moves like Psychic and Giga Drain. Without access to breeding though, that's about where the good ends with Venomoth. Its type leaves it vulnerable to rock, flying, fire, and psychic types, on top of barely being able to put a dent in steel-type Pokemon or any special walls like Chansey or Clefable. It's still better than Parasect in that it's not as weak to everything, and it's fast enough to get at least one move off in most battles. And it is even stronger and faster than Butterfree stat-wise, but at this point in the game, as far as status condition users go, you're better off choosing Butterfree for its access to Compound Eyes, or a Pokemon like Gloom or Execute for their sweeping potential. Venomoth is good if you want to use it, just not the best Pokemon at doing what it does. Tauros may not be quite as terrifying a presence as it was in its debut, but it's still no slouch. Tauros has a great attack and speed stat, pairing well with its access to Stab, Return, and Double Edge, along with moves like Earthquake, Iron Tail, and certain types of hidden power for type coverage. Intimidate is, as always, an excellent ability, giving Tauros a chance to survive even some strong fighting type hits, if the opponent chooses not to switch out. There's not much else to say, Tauros is good. Using a Super Rod, Dragonair can appear in the Central Lake. Dragonair is a solid Pokemon with access to Thunder Wave through level up to slow opponents, agility to increase its own speed, and at level 56, the powerful Outrage, a Dragon-type reskin of Petal Dance with 90 base power at the expense of confusing the user after 2 or 3 turns. Since the strongest move outside of this that Dragonair's evolution line gets through level up is Twister, I would highly recommend waiting to get this earlier at level 56 to evolve your Dragonair. Unless you reach level 56 after Victory Road, at which point you'll have access to an overall better Dragon move and have no reason to miss out on Wing Attack for Dragonite upon evolving. Dragon is still a solid defensive type too, with resistances to all 3 starter types and the electric type, with only steel types resisting its own moves and only ice and other dragon types having a type advantage. But even with these weaknesses, Dragon Pokemon tend to have such a deep move pool with access to many TMs and move tutors that it hardly even matters. Dragonite will learn Wing Attack right away once Dragonair evolves if you allow it to evolve at level 55. This is the strongest flying type move Dragonite gets without teaching it Fly or getting lucky with hidden powers, so don't expect it to be too strong as a flying type. As a Dragon type, however, Dragonite is excellent, with Outrage at level 61 or even earlier if you waited to evolve Dragonair, on top of TM and move tutor compatibility greater than even some normal types, allowing it access to moves like Dragon Claw, Water Pulse, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Brick Break, Flamethrower, Aerial Ace, and Surf. Dragonite can easily have its moveset retooled for any given situation to allow it the coverage it needs to trivialize any given area. The moveset for Dragonite that I really want to draw attention to, though, is the ability to effectively use Substitute and Focus Punch. Substitute allows Dragonite to avoid taking hits for, at minimum, a single turn, and if you manage to train your Dragonite's HP stat, even just with 10 HP ups, you can realistically make that 2 in single player. This means Dragonite gets a free turn to use Focus Punch, a 150 base power fighting type move that always moves last and can only be executed if the user doesn't take damage in the turn it's selected. Paired with Leftovers to restore some of the HP lost from creating a substitute in the first place, this combination can turn Dragonite into a devastating sweeper, with Thunderbolt and Ice Beam to cover anything else Dragonite can't deal with Focus Punch. The only Pokemon in Kanto that resist both Thunderbolt and Ice Beam are Magnemite and Magneton, both of which are weak to, you guessed it, Focus Punch. Dragonite is just really solid, in an unconventional way certainly, due to a lack of access to breeding, but it can take hits well and deal them back in turn. Just keep it out of the way of Ice-type attacks and it'll be fine. As I said, I'm going to catch every Chansey I can find. So, well, every Chansey I can catch, I guess. Every Chansey I can find is probably being a little too generous. But I will catch a I'm gonna catch these guys until I find a lucky egg. I don't care how long it takes. Okay, that one got away. There's a protein here. While we were speeding up, by the way, I found some very good items. If I can get to them. Starting with the Quick Claw, this is a item that can be held by a Pokemon, it gives them basically a small chance to move first, regardless of their speed stat. This is great for slower Pokemon. Sometimes they'll just be able to move before you expect them to, and they can, like, it can really change a battle. Protein raises base attack. I think we know who that goes on. That's right, Gaster, because we wanted to be better at using Ghost-type moves. Alright, I am trying to save giving, like, held items to my Pokemon for the most part until a little bit later. I didn't even finish going over the items, but yeah, that statement is still correct. I am trying to just save it for a little bit. TMs, I found quite a few. First, Sunny Day. It makes it so there is harsh sunlight. This powers up Fire-type moves and allows Pokemon with Chlorophyll to double their speed, and also lets Solar Beam go without charging, and also lets Synthesis and Moonlight and Morning Sun heal more. It's a pretty good weather condition. It does more than Rain Dance does in this generation, so that's nice. We also found Steel Wing. The foe is hit with Wings of Steel. It may also raise the user's defense. This is one of the best Steel-type moves in the game, but unfortunately, only Flying types really can learn it, so nothing on our team is going to be using this move. Its accuracy is only 90. That's sort of just an issue with Steel types as a whole, as their moves tend to be really inaccurate, but not bad. Anyway. Don't need to read that sign. Safari Zone. No way. That's where we are? Gold Teeth here. Gotta pick those up for the Strength HM. Please find the Safari Warden's lost gold teeth. They're around here somewhere. Reward offered. I wonder if we'll ever find them. TM32 contains Double Team. This raises the evasion of the user by a single stage. And we made it to the secret house. Ah, finally! You're the first person to reach the secret house. Although I made a campaign for our grand opening, I was getting worried that no one would win our campaign prize. Congratulations, you've won! HMO3. HMO3 is Surf. Pokemon will be able to ferry you across water using it. And this HM isn't disposable, so you can use it over and over. You're super lucky for winning this fabulous prize. That's actually true, because this move is just really good. It's one of the best water-type moves in the game, so yeah, that's going on Umi. 95 power. I'm used to it being only 90 power from, like, modern generations nerfing it slightly. But I will gladly take Surf. Much better than Water Pulse. No offense, Misty, but your TM sucks. Now, there is still something I have yet to do in the Safari Zone regarding catching the final member of my team. There's nothing in here. I don't know why I would ever bother entering a rest house. You'd think with a name like Rest House, the rest house would, like, not count your steps while you're inside, but no, they do, so you can get called back while you're taking a short rest. One trick in the Safari Zone to not waste your steps, though, is to just move around on one tile. These do not count as steps in the Safari Zone, but you can still encounter wild Pokemon this way. I'm gonna keep doing this until I find Tauros. Found one! Let's go! That did not take very long, all things considered. However, now there's also the fact that it can run away very easily to contend with. Alright, we're gonna start by throwing some bait. And he was not interested, I see. Back to hunting. Rock. This guy hates me. Okay, I started hunting like a normal person, so I'm not gonna just stand in one tile. I guess before I search for Tauros, I can show you what you get on this island. There's a nugget here, and then there's one more item somewhere. That's water, not an item. Maybe not. I could have sworn there was a hidden item here. Is it down here? Huh. I guess not. My notes say there's a hidden leaf stone there, but I could not for the life of me find it, so... I guess not. Area 3 is the area where Tauros is the most common at a 4% encounter rate instead of a 1%, so... This is where I'm hunting. Alright, second encounter, not bad. Will you accept this bait? Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. 1, 2. Okay. Well, he was almost the one. Oh! Ah! He's playing tricks on me. He thinks he's so clever. Here's some more bait, man. And some more balls. No shakes at all that time. This probably will not be the one either. 1, 2. Arg. Almost had it. Yo, they really do, like, get the things you think when these Pokeballs break, like, in this text perfectly right. Like, yeah, I am thinking, ARG! Like, they were in my head when they were writing all this text. Ah! It was not the one. Another one! Let's go! Will you run immediately, or are you going to give me hope and then tear it all to like, bloody bits? Whatever Flowey said. Doesn't look like you want to give me hope. Oh, but he's hungry. Oh! Never mind, he does want to give me hope and then tear it away from me. Oh. This could be Ryan, though. This could be him. And he ran. As soon as I gave him a second helping, he was sick of it. Another one! Oh, I guess I'm not throwing bait this time! Okay, he didn't run! Do you want some food, Tauros? No, he did not. Oh! The very next encounter is another Tauros! I'll take it! Just like he'll take my fucking food! Another one! I'm only slightly losing my mind. An interesting holdover from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, which LeafGreen and FireRed are obviously built on, is that when you throw bait, you're actually throwing a Pokeblock, which is better than throwing, like, an egg in Generation 1, I guess, but Pokeblocks don't exist in the Kanto region, really, so I just think it's interesting. It's just a holdover from how the Safari Zone was in Ruby and Sapphire, but, you know. Kangaskhan! Okay, I meant to throw bait, but I'll throw a ball, sure. Oh, that's running. Yeah. That's the 1% encounter in Area 3, so that's even rarer than a Tauros. That's how long it's taken for another fucking Tauros to appear. At this point, will I run out of Safari Balls faster or steps? It's looking like steps. So far, I have spent about 2,500 Poke just getting back into the Safari Zone. This just sucks. Finally found another one. Please don't run. Thank you. One ball. Didn't work and it's gonna run now. Never mind, but it's already fucking done eating. Oh my god. Don't eat so fast, you're gonna choke. One, two, and it's done eating again! Oh my god, he took 3 servings! And then he ran with the last one! That's so rude! Okay, this is the 3rd Nidoran female that I've caught on accident. I'm keeping all of them. While I'm searching for Tauros, I want to go ahead and give, like, a, I guess, shout-out of sorts to Safari Week. Safari Week is a week every year where shiny hunters search for Pokemon exclusively in Safari zones from throughout the series. I think, like, excluding the Oraz one, because you can actually use Pokemon there. I do not understand how people could possibly have the dedication to shiny hunt in the Safari zone and miss the amount of shinies that they do. Like, you're bound to lose shinies in the Safari zone. It's just an added risk, and I think it's really neat. While I was doing a playthrough of FireRed, I think it might have been the one last year when I, like, got that save file for FireRed that I was gonna use, well, that I ended up using for this Let's Play to evolve Gaster. I'm pretty sure I found a shiny Venonat in the Safari zone. I don't really care for Venonat's shiny, but I still caught it. Evolved it into Venomoth, and it turns out Venomoth has one of the best shinies in FireRed and LeafGreen. It looks really sick. I'll put it on screen now. But Safari Week is really neat. I recommend looking into it if you have any interest in shiny hunting. It can be a fun time, even if you don't stream. Like, I've even been considering, like, maybe maybe this year, maybe this is the one I'll finally go live for Safari Week. I'll catch some shinies in the Safari zone. And then I remember, I really don't wanna. But it's always fun to watch content about. Finally! Oh my god, Tauros! No! I caught a Kangaskhan. I didn't even throw bait. He just wanted to be here. The infant rarely ventures out of its mother's protective pouch until it is 3 years old. Unless you let it Mega Evolve, but that's a long ways away. I found another Kangaskhan before I found another Tauros. Another one! I'm gonna do something funny here. Gonna throw a rock? Well, it was funny. I have paid to get back into the Safari Zone probably about 7 times so far. That's how obnoxious this is. Oh, I caught another Nidoran female. In case you were wondering if I was going to catch even more of them. Okay, I'll stop trying to be funny, just take the bait. Stop! Ah! Oh my god, are you gonna be the one? Please. No. Of course not. Of course you're not. Oh, caught another Nidoran female. Yep. Okay, you know what? It's been about 7 times so far that I've just been kicked out of the Safari Zone flat out. I want to at least see what my boxes are looking like with the amount of Nidoran females I've caught on accident so far. Look at all the Nidoran female! Jesus! There's a couple Nidorina mixed in there too, and like Rhyhorn and Venomoth and Kangaskhan, but like, that is mostly Nidoran female. And they're all like level 22. I guess most of the Pokemon in the Safari Zone only have like 1 level they can appear at. Oh my god. I'm losing my mind right now. Maybe it's because I have Chansey in my party. I'm just too lucky right now. It's like luck overflow with these Tauros. I gotta bring it down a little. I found another one. Are you gonna run? No? Thanks. 1. Oh, now you're gonna run, right? Oh no, but you're gonna be watching carefully, which means you're gonna run on the next turn. Thanks, man. Yep. See ya. Okay. It's occurred to me that I don't think I have tried a single time to just throw a ball. Well, I guess that explains why. But I'll keep trying. 1. Yep, well, it's worth a shot. Oh, I accidentally caught a Nidoran male this time, so At least I'm mixing it up a little. Oh, look, another Kangaskhan. Now I accidentally caught a Doduo. Hi, Tauros. Are you gonna be the one? No. Never. Okay, I got one with bait and it didn't run away immediately. And he's still eating. Will he stay in the ball? Place your bets. I have $1 billion on no. The answer was no, by the way. I threw a second bait at him and then he fled. I have paid, at minimum, 10 times to get into the Safari Zone. This is fun! Hi, Tauros. The rock strat will work this time. I believe. Oh, he's pissed. Throw the ball! Get in the ball! No! Surely this time. Ball! Stay in the ball! Oh, he's still angry. He's not running. Stay in the ball! You know you want to! Rock! You know, this video is going to be really interesting to watch because you can see the evolution from me, you know, wanting to feed Tauros, wanting to make him happy when I catch him, to being pissed off and throwing rocks at him. Oh, I caught another fucking Kangaskhan, by the way. Rock. Goodbye. Rock. Always have been, always will be. 3 Kangaskhan. Hi, Tauros. I'm throwing a rock at you. He didn't like that. I just want to say, I have been hunting for well over an hour at this point. Just trying to catch a Tauros. If I wasn't using speed up, so far this would have been probably over 3 hours. So, you know, I'm sort of at a point where, like, I'm accepting that this is my fate for probably the next lifetime, is trying to find a Tauros and catch it in the Kanto Safari Zone in FireRed and LeafGreen. So, I'll start being nice to Tauros again. You know, I'm gonna throw bait and then balls, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. That's all I'm saying. Bait. Stay, please, eat, yes! You're so hungry, Tauros, you're so hungry! Oh, he's gonna run! No, he's not! Stay in the ball! Oh. I don't like the fact that I'm feeling anxiety every time I see Tauros now. It was 3 shakes! No. I literally can't speak. I feel like so much anxiety about this encounter right now that I cannot speak. I need to, like, get up and get some water. Okay. Got some water. Ball. Why did that take longer than finding a shiny Eevee? Huh? When it targets an enemy, it charges furiously while whipping its body with its long tails. This one stayed around for like 10 turns, too. This really is Rhine. Oh my god. I can leave the fucking Safari Zone. By the way, in case you wanted to do the math to see how much money I spent to get this Tauros, I believe that totals in at 3,500 Poke. Which, no, my math is definitely off there. So, I guess you can take the money you see at the top of the screen now, and then subtract it from whatever I had at the beginning. That'll do it. I'm not doing that, though. I don't want to know how much I spent. Okay. Well, with that, we are finally done with Fuchsia City. Other than when I come back here to catch Dratini and Dragonair, and I try to get a few more Chansey, just for the chance of having a lucky egg. But otherwise, we're done with Fuchsia City for now, at least. God, look at the fucking destruction in this box. This is like a visual representation of my mental state crumbling twice. I know I'm putting Ryan in the party and everything, but we actually need Farfetch'd right now, and I don't want to look at Tauros, at least right now. I've had enough looking at Tauros for a little bit. Before we leave, let's talk to this guy. Now that we can give him his teeth. Thank you, lassie! You're a real lifesaver! Oh, he's Irish. Oh, I get to bastardize his accent, I do. No one could understand a word that I said, not a one. I was too ashamed to show my face around the office, even. Let me give you something for your trouble. HMO4. Inside HMO4, you'll find strength. It lets Pokemon move boulders when you're outside a battle. Oh yes, did you find the secret house in the Safari Zone? I did. I don't think I want to teach strength to anything in my party right now. I also don't really want to teach it to Ryan, but Ryan would be a better user of it than Annabelle, Hickette, or Gaster, so never mind, I guess. Time to go get Ryan back at the party. Annabelle, you can take a sit out for a little bit here. I just want lamp in the front, and I don't want to have to rearrange it later. Alright. Let's go ahead and teach strength to Ryan. This isn't going to be permanent, at least there is a move relearner in the Kanto region this time. And Rage is a horrible move, so who cares about getting rid of it? Ryan learns strength, alright. Now we can head back in here. And use strength on this boulder. Ryan's strength made it possible to move boulders around. And we got a rare candy for our troubles. It's alright. I don't know if it's really worth the amount of hassle it took to get Ryan in the party, though. While he is in the party, though, we should probably go through and teach Ryan any moves that I want to teach him to make him good. Return is definitely one of them. This is one of the strongest normal-type moves in the game. It's not going to be hitting super hard right off the bat, but it'll be strong enough, like, once we give him the Sooth Bell and he's fought in a few battles. I'm thinking about Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam does need to recharge no matter what now, which kinda sucks. But it's such a strong move, and coming from Ryan's attack stat, of course I want that. And I'll even replace Pursuit, because Pursuit sucks on a physical attacker. Next, I want to fly to Lavender Town. There's a couple things I want to do around here now. I'm gonna start by heading back into Rock Tunnel, though. Words I would never have cause to say before this point. Oh god, I don't have Flash right now. I'm gonna go get Voltorb. Half our party is gonna be HM users right now. My party is in shambles right now. But I am not dealing with Rock Tunnel without Flash. Or without Repels, of which I have many. We are back in Rock Tunnel to speak with this kid, who talks to you about how you can die in a rock slide. So it turns out, Ryan can't learn Rock Slide. Why did I deposit Annabelle? She was the entire reason I came back here. Back in the box with you, Ryan. Okay. Anyway, the real reason I wanted to come here. I said I was saving the Rock Slide move tutor for Ryan. Turns out, I probably should have saved the Rock Tomb TM because Ryan can't learn this, Annabelle can. There is no reason to keep Rock Tomb over Rock Slide, so, I mean, the speed drop, obviously, but Rock Slide is more accurate and it's more powerful. I would rather have it. It might be scary to use it in this tunnel? You freak! Stop talking about dying in rock slides! Okay, the party's at least less in shambles than it was. There's one more thing to do near Lavender Town, down on Route 12. Once we go through the gate. On Route 12. There's this little island here that we couldn't get to before because we didn't have surf. We can get to it now. TM48 contains Skill Swap. This TM is certainly a TM. Skill Swap is used to basically switch your ability with the opponents. It's mostly learned by Psychic types. This move is best in double battles to get rid of disadvantageous abilities from certain Pokemon. For example, having a Slowbro or Slowking use this on a Slacking to give it Oblivious instead of Truant. There's not really any disadvantageous abilities in the Kanto region. That's why I had to use Slacking as an example. So this move can be used. Maybe you have I don't know. You can't really use it to get Intimidate because that's not how Intimidate or Skill Swap works. Once you Skill Swap, if you switch out, you lose the ability you gained. So I don't know. It's not really useful in single player, but they had to put it somewhere, you know? That was Payday in Generation 1. That's not a TM anymore, so. Our next stop is Cerulean City. But it's actually north of Cerulean City. Route 24. I didn't show this until like the very end of Generation 1, but technically now that we have Surf, we can get to Cerulean Cave. I really love the surfing animation in this game. I love how your character's just sitting in a doofy little pose on top of, I guess, Whalmer. I don't really know what the surfing sprite is supposed to be in this game. We never talked to this guy. This is Cerulean Cave. Horribly strong Pokemon live inside there. It takes a very special trainer to be allowed inside. You'd have to be strong enough to become the Pokemon League champion for starters, and you would have to have made a great achievement. He would not have that last line there in Generation 1. You only need to be champion in Generation 1? Not so in this game. We'll talk about that later. I came to Mount Moon in search of a mushroom Pokemon. Okay. Why are you up here, and why does it take so long to be able to fight you? At least she found her mushroom Pokemon, I guess. She just loves mushroom Pokemon. This is mostly just an excuse for Lamp to absolutely decimate this team using Flamethrower. Almost a level up there. Another Paris. Okay, we got another Flamethrower for you. Lamp grew to level 36. I think we need 1 or 2 more levels before Lamp can evolve. Goodbye, Parasect. So normally I like to save rare candies until, like, the very end of the game. But there are always certain exceptions where I want a Pokemon to evolve. And Lamp is one of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a rare candy on her so she can learn the move Grudge. This is the last thing I wanted her to know before I let her evolve. Grudge basically makes it so if the user faints, the move depletes the PP of the move that finished it off. This is incredibly strong, and I like it more than Imprison, so... yeah. This can be useful as just a petty, like, middle finger to an opponent that's going to finish her off, and I'm a big fan of that. On top of that, it's now time to evolve Lamp. Lamp evolved into Ninetales. Let's take a look at her stats now. Still not great, considering she's stronger than, like, she's higher leveled than Gengar and her stats are considerably worse, but better than as a Vulpix. I think she'll do a lot better now. I also just really love Ninetales' design. Our last stop is Vermilion City. You know how a long time ago I said if you re-enter the Vermilion City harbor after blacking out aboard the SS Han, you won't be able to re-enter? I do have a ticket. Once you have a Pokemon with Surf in your party... what? Huh? But... that wasn't supposed to happen, though. Let me in! Let me in! Okay, so I believe I was the victim of misinformation here, or I'm doing something wrong and I just don't know what. What's supposed to happen here is if you have a Pokemon with Surf in your party and you left the harbor without the ship leaving by blacking out aboard the SS Han, the ship will not automatically depart as soon as you enter. And then if you use Surf in the harbor, you can get to the truck, and somewhere below it is a lava cookie, which is an item normally exclusive to the Hoenn region or the post-game of this game that acts identically to a full heal. I was 100% certain on this. Like, I saw video proof and everything that this is supposed to work this way. But I guess not. Okay. There wasn't a lot of good, like, detailed information on this, so... I guess good to know? That's really disappointing. I was really looking forward to showing that. Like, that was one of, like, the big things I was excited to show in this video. Is being able to get to the truck. With that, though, I have shown everything I wanted to show with Surf before we head to Saffron City. It's technically worth noting that we also now have access to the Seafoam Islands, the Power Plant, and Cinnabar Island, but we'll be talking about all that later. Got Ryan in the party. Let's start exploring Saffron a little bit. With Sylph under control, we can exploit Pokemon around the world. We'll get stinking rich. Yeehaw! Okay, asshole. I don't like Team Rocket still. Okay, Mr. Psychic! Guy who is obviously a superhero with a name like that. Wait, don't say a word. You wanted this. TM29. You already know, don't you? TM29 is Psychic. It's an attack that may also lower the target's special stats. As he says... TM29, 90 power, 100 accuracy with a... small chance. I'm not sure if it's 10, 20, or 30, but it has a chance of lowering the target's special defense. I'm going to go ahead and teach this to Gaster, because apparently Gaster's the only one who can learn it. I thought Lamp would be able to too, but nope. This is going to make Gaster an absolute nightmare for every opponent in the game, and honestly, I'm gonna get rid of Nightshade at this point. I think Shadow Punch has been doing competent enough damage, and soon enough, we're even gonna be replacing Shadow Punch with Shadow Ball, which is even gonna be doing more damage. I think this is probably for the best. Also, can you learn Shockwave now that you're evolved? Nope. Ryan can. Huh? Why? Your special attack is horrible. That makes me curious what else on here Ryan can learn. I mean, we don't have anything really worth teaching, but it's kind of funny that he can learn that. I mean, I guess he gets Thunderbolt, so it shouldn't be that surprising, but so does Gengar, and Gengar doesn't learn Shockwave. Well, whatever. Alright, our next stop is not the Pokemon Fan Club, although we can stop in. I just don't have anything written about the Pokemon Fan Club in my notes. I think trainers are so cool when they're battling, don't you think so too? I am a trainer and I do battle. Brock's the last word on cool, end of story. Now there's a guy who I want to be like. All of us gathered here are fans of Pokemon trainers. The way they look in battle, they are the picture of coolness. Perhaps you will be talked about here too if you keep winning. I wonder if I can become a cool trainer one day. Maybe. Why is this place so big? Why do you need 2 rooms? Oh, whatever. Our first actual stop of the day is going to be the Fighting Dojo. As always, we have a lot of trainers to fight in here, and as with last time, this is not going to be Ryan's debut because Ryan will get his ass destroyed here. Wha! You're the trespassing in our Fighting Dojo! Very intentionally, yes. Hitoshi. Cool. Machop. You have no idea what you're in for, buddy. Goodbye, Machop. Mankey. I probably don't even need Psychic to deal with these guys. I want to draw attention to how weird Gengar's back sprite looks in this game. The spikes don't really look like that on Gengar when you actually look at it in future generations. The way they're drawn here just is kind of weird and it throws me off because it really does not look like Gengar from the back. Oof! I give up! Oh, but we got another one. These aren't a double battle for some reason, even though they do both notice you on the same tile. I hear you're good. Show me! Oh, I'll show you, buddy. Hideki! Kamiya? I think this guy blocked me on Twitter. I don't use Twitter anymore, though. If you're going to go anywhere for like updates on videos or anything, I would recommend going to Bluesky or the Discord server, because Twitter is a website for Nazis. Although I obviously major kudos to my friends and you know, just people who are trying to grind it out on Twitter still. I don't know how you put up with the bullshit on that website. Aaron, hell yeah. Gaster can obliterate your Primeape too. Whoa! It lived? Oh, he's charging up. He's pissed. Unfortunately, Gaster is faster. Yow! Stubbed fingers! True, those hurt. Not as bad as a stubbed toe, but still sucks. Take your shoes off! Stop! I just want to say, I had to cut out my reaction to this guy's dialogue in the Generation 1 Let's Play because the timing of a certain controversy within the Let's Playing community, with that video being recorded and then uploaded, could not have been worse. It's kind of funny now looking back on it, now that that whole situation has been resolved and everything. But at the time, that was like a frighteningly, like, relevant thing to see in a game. That kind of freaked me out a little. Anyway, goodbye, Primeape. We're not gonna talk about that anymore. I give up! All of you are giving up. You're all like cowards. No wonder you lost the official gym status. Alright, time for our final battle here. Grunt! Or, I guess, I am the Karate Master. I am the leader here. You wish to challenge us? Expect no mercy. Fwa! Black Belt Koichi would like to battle, leading with Hitmonlee, level 37, fighting type. Limber for the ability, holding a black belt, knowing the moves High Jump Kick, Foresight, Focus Energy, and Mind Reader. Every single trainer-owned Pokemon in this building is holding a black belt. If you have a Pokemon with Thief, it might be a good idea to steal one, because it's not the best item, it just increases the power of fighting type moves by 10%, but it's enough of a boost that it can make a difference. I'm just not really worried about going for it because our only fighting type move is Brick Break on Annabelle, and that's not really the type that I would want boosted coming from Annabelle. I'd more want, like, Soft Sand to boost ground type moves. Hitmonchan is level 37, fighting type, Keen Eye for the ability, holding a black belt, knowing the moves Sky Uppercut, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, and Fire Punch. We have already seen the worst that a Hitmonchan can possibly do, so I'm not particularly worried about this. You are seeing that its special defense stat is pretty good, though. Its special attack stat, not so much. Alright, level 38 for Gaster, making him our highest level Pokemon now. Hurrah! Arg! Beaten! Indeed, I have lost. Indeed, I have lost. But I beseech you, do not take our emblem as your trophy. In return, I will give you a prized fighting Pokemon. Choose whichever one you like. Our choices: Hitmonlee, the hard-kicking Hitmonlee even, and the piston-punching Hitmonchan. There is a correct option, but let's go over them first. Hitmonlee is actually pretty good these days. With access to a choice of either Brick Break or High Jump Kick as a fighting move, access to Earthquake through TM and Rock Slide through Move Tutor, and Mind Reader to ensure that whatever move it is using will hit. I mean, hell, it even gets a Ghost type move and Hidden Power if you're lucky. It's just overall pretty solid, with all of those moves coming from an attack stat of 120. Its speed may be a bit lacking, and that is definitely the most major downside, but when Hitmonlee is good, it's good. It can lay waste to entire teams, so long as they don't have to fight, like, Fearow or Dodrio. Hitmonlee is still definitely the better of the brothers Hitmon, especially if you EV train that speed stat. Hitmonchan sucks! Unless you're playing Advanced NU, in which case it's one of the most dangerous Pokemon there is. I say this as affectionately as possible. Hitmonchan is genuinely just a weaker Hitmonlee. Access to the elemental punches through level up still doesn't help it due to its abysmal special attack stat, and while Mach Punch is a fantastic move, allowing Hitmonchan to move first when it's selected, it still isn't powerful enough to put Hitmonchan above its competition. Hitmonchan isn't as bad as it used to be. Rock Slide, Earthquake, Sky Uppercut, and Brick Break all make sure of that, but it's still incredibly vulnerable to Psychic and especially flying attacks, and it's overall just outclassed by basically every other fighting type obtainable in the Kanto region. But you know what? I'm still gonna pick Hitmonlee. Mr. Bustdown. Alright, moving on. Still can't enter this house yet. I don't know why why are they blocking the copycat's house, but not the obvious superhero's house? We have our full team together now. I just now realized that. Like, our final team is put together. Cool. Actually heading to the Rocket Game Corner to commemorate the fact that we have our final team. Let's use the Pokemon printer to put the final team on the back of the trainer card. In sepia tone, sure. We check our trainer card now. There we go. Not probably the final order they'll be in on this trainer card. I'll probably fix this later. I probably want it in the order they were caught, but not bad. Anyway, back to Saffron City. At least it's a short walk back, because we don't have Fly right now. Our next stop in this episode is Silphco. We have very little else to do. Ha, he's taking a snooze. We're headed in. As with last time, our first matter of business here should probably be finding the card key. It'll make our time here a lot less of a pain in the ass. Want to head up to the 7th floor, I thought? I guess not. Okay, not the 9th floor either. I guess I'll fight one of the 4 Rocket Brothers now, sure. Hello, Team Rocket Grunt. Golbat, awesome. I guess this is Ryan's debut. Intimidate is a fun ability. I'm glad we have that at least. Strength will do more than return at this point, probably. That wasn't bad damage. Especially since we're, like, under-leveled and have no EVs yet. Goodbye, Golbat. What's next? Drowsy. You're really making this debut interesting. Thank you, Team Rocket Grunt. Wow, look how much that did. I'll cut ahead. Ryan will get an actual good battle eventually, but for now it's really just gonna be, like, leveling him up and getting his moves strong. Here's the animation for Hyper Beam, though. I don't really like it in this gen, I'm gonna be real. I think it looks a little underwhelming. Ryan grew to level 26. Trying to learn Swagger. This is a move that confuses the Pokemon and also raises their attack stat by 2 stages. The point of this is that when they hit themselves this way, they'll be dealing more damage to themselves, but I don't know if Ryan is the best user of this? I'd rather have it than Scary Face, though. Scary Face lowers speed by 2 stages. I'll take Swagger over that. While I'm thinking about it, I should also give the Sooth Bell to Ryan, just so we are getting, like, just so our friendship is rising steadily, so return can, like, be better faster. What floor is it that I'm looking for? Is it the 8th floor? Do I want to take this warp panel? No, that brought me to the 2nd floor. Is it the 3rd floor? And then this one? No, it's not. See, the thing is, I'll know it when I see it. Like, I'll know when I'm in the right place. This is a good room to be in, but I don't want to be here yet. Okay, I'm looking at my notes for Generation 1, and I'm gonna trust them. We're going up to the 9th floor, going all the way to the right, all the way down, go left. This is not correct, I don't think. But sure, Scientist Ed, let's fight. Note to self, Ryan is not ready to handle Magneton on his own. Okay, go all the way left. Go. Battle the... Huh? I don't think Generation 1 me knows what I'm talking about. Unless it's this warp panel? This is where I'm supposed to be, actually. So I guess Generation 1 me knew what they were talking about, but, like, not completely correctly? Here's the card key. Okay. Well, I guess we can start storming through this place now. We are going to be going through this place in sequential order by floor. This is just the easiest way to get everything that I can think of. In the meantime, let's go over the bios for the final evolutions of the starter Pokemon now, since we're about to face our rival who has his Pokemon fully evolved. Venusaur's move pool in Generation 3 is really geared towards stalling and support, and functioning far better in the sun at that. Venusaur is about the best user there is for that sunny day TM we got in the Safari Zone, using it to allow itself Solar Beam without the turn of Charge Up and to use Synthesis to restore 66% of its HP in a single move. Now, while Solar Beam can be learned a bit early through the use of a later TM, Synthesis can't be learned until level 53, which is a bit of a wait. Outside of this, though, Venusaur's move pool is varied enough. It gets access to Earthquake and Hidden Power to deal decent damage to certain types before the post-game, and Sludge Bomb to take advantage of its poison typing pretty far into the post-game. Other than this, though, there's not much to say about Venusaur like there was in the first generation. A Sunset is likely to be the most solid thing you can do with the Grass-type starter in this generation, and that's not bad at all. It can just be difficult to get it in and allow it to synergize with Water types as a result. At least consider keeping Razor Leaf as an alternative attack if you know you're going to need a Water type in the same battle as Venusaur. Charizard has a bit of a leg up on a lot of other Fire types available in the Kanto region. It already gets Flamethrower before it evolves, and on top of that, it has excellent TM and Move Tutor compatibility to allow it coverage against all sorts of foes. Focus Punch, Dragon Claw, Iron Tail, Earthquake, Hidden Power, Brick Break, Rock Slide, and those are just some examples. It's also able to set up Sunny Day to boost its already powerful Fire-type attacks, which elevates certain moves like Fire Blast and Overheat from being just shy of one-shotting special tanks, to even being able to potentially one-shot some of the strongest special walls in the game. Charizard is not without its flaws, though. Charizard has a ton of common weaknesses. Water, Rock, and Electric are all common types on trainers we'll be fighting throughout the main story, and one of those, especially a Rock-type move, can easily devastate Charizard. If you're lucky, maybe your Charizard is able to use a Grass-type Hidden Power to take care of Rock types, but you likely should not be relying on that. Charizard is good, but it's not invincible. Just know when to switch out, and it's one of the most solid Fire types in the game. Blastoise is about as good as a bulky Water type is going to get in Generation 3. With access to Surf and Ice Beam as strong attacking moves, Bite through level up to threaten Psychic and Ghost types, and moves like Earthquake, Iron Tail, Brick Break, Rain Dance, Rest, and Toxic through TM, There's not many great options for a moveset on Blastoise, but there are definitely enough that you can find something that works and stick with it throughout the adventure. I will stand by my statement that Blastoise is the most consistently good starter in the game, able to stay in and take care of many threats. It's just not as varied as the other two starter evolutions. It is so fucked up that Team Rocket Grunts use Cubone. I know I already went on a tangent about this in Generation 1, but holy shit, it's so disrespectful to let them use Cubone. They murdered its mom. Anyway, beyond fighting all the trainers in here, I am just going to cut to whenever I find items that I think are worth noting. There are a lot of great items here, so yeah, I'm going to try to get all of them, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Annabelle grew to level 37 from beating a Magnemite. Help! I'm a self-employee! Okay. At level 36, Umi is learning Aurora Beam. This is a 65 base power Ice-type move with a chance to lower the attack stat of the target. I'll take that over Quick Attack. This is like 100% going to be replaced with Ice Beam as soon as I'm able to afford the TM for it, but that's not right now. How did you know I was a Rocket? I work for both Sylph and Team Rocket. Oh, he has to work 2 jobs, poor guy. Okay. This lady. Eek! No, stop! Help! Oh, you're not with Team Rocket. I'm sorry, I thought... Will you forgive me if I teach you the Thunder Wave technique? This is a move tutor for Thunder Wave. None of our Pokemon can learn it. It's a 95 power electric type move that paralyzes the opponent. You get this pretty early on in most electric type Pokemon's movesets, but there are Pokemon that aren't electric types that can learn it, and it might be worth using it on those. Pokemon like Alakazam. I believe that's everything on the 2nd floor. Yes, it is. On to the 3rd. Hello, Team Rocket Grunt. Using the card key to open this shutter on the 3rd floor, we can take this to get to the end of the dungeon, which is not where we want to be right now. But using it to open this one, it's a Hyper Potion. Good item, heals 200 HP. Using this warp panel, we have to fight this guy to get through, but this is the area with the beds where your Pokemon can get healed. Definitely worth coming here early on to just unlock this area and get easy access to it. Hello, healing lady. I just healed my Pokemon using items, so those items are now officially wasted, but that's fine. At least we have access to free full heals whenever we need now. Ryan grew to level 30 from beating Scientist Jose's Wheezing. I work for Sylph Co. What am I to do? I don't know. What is a boy to do? There's a hidden protein in this potted plant. Why? I mean, I'll take it. That's definitely going on Rhine. On to the 4th floor. Anything down here? Team Rocket Grunt. We'll fight him in a second. TM41 Torment. I don't... Yes, I do remember what this does. This makes it so the target can't use the same move twice in a row. This can be useful against certain bosses, but for the most part, this is a very much, like, multiplayer move. Which seems to be the case for a lot of the TMs we're finding today. This guy said, my Pokemon is my loyal servant. Is it gonna, like, explode straight away? Let's see. Okay, no. I know he says they're his loyal soldiers in Generation 1, and then I battled him, and this thing just exploded instantly, so... You know? Good on Electrode. It's learned to, like, screech before exploding now, but... Still kind of a sad existence. Okay, using the card key on this door, though. Full heal. Pretty good. Escape rope, pretty good. Max revive, pretty good. In fact, really good. That fully restores a Pokemon's health when you revive it. And there's a guy here who's hiding. Awesome. Nice storage room. Heading up to the 5th floor. Let's fight this Rocket Brother. Oh, he's not a Rocket Brother. I don't know why I thought this guy was one of the Rocket Brothers. What? There shouldn't be any children here. Oh, is this the juggler? I still don't know why there is a juggler working on... Like, why is he on Team Rocket's payroll? You're only on 5F. It's a long way to my boss. Yeah, whatever. There's a Pokemon report. Oh, does this have an updated dialogue for how many moves there are? It says some Pokemon are confirmed to evolve by trading instead of 4. Over 350 techniques. Okay, they actually updated all the text. I don't know why I wasn't expecting them to, but I wasn't. Team Rocket is in an uproar over some intruder. That's you, right? Sure is. Any items? Yes. Why are there so many items in these plants? There's an elixir in that one. What about you? Yes, a PP up. What the hell? Through these shutters. Protein. I'm getting a lot of proteins today. This is like the 3rd one, I think. That can also go on Rhine. Those thugs took over our building. Their boss said he was looking for strong Pokemon. I hope our president managed to avoid trouble. Probably not. I don't care though, he's a billionaire, he deserves it. Opening these shutters nearby where we found the card key. TMO1 Focus Punch. This is a move where the Pokemon will start charging at the beginning of the turn, but then only by the end of the turn will they be able to attack, and only if they haven't been hit by another move. This is really good in combination with Substitute, if you have a Pokemon with a lot of HP that you know will survive a, like where their Substitute will survive a turn. It's alright. It's a good, it's a good move, it's just not one I personally like using a lot. But I really can't deny that in combination with Substitute, it's an excellent move. By the way, since I've been mentioning them as they come up, Silphco is another area where I think the music is actually better in FireRed and LeafGreen. So, all of the Team Rocket areas so far, I think sound better in FireRed and LeafGreen. Heading on to the 6th floor. I am one of the 4 Rocket Brothers. Finally, I've been looking for you guys. Oh dear, help me, please! That man next to me, he's such a coward. Okay. They must have targeted Sylph for our Pokémon products. Team Rocket is trying to conquer the world with Pokémon. The Rockets came and took over our building. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm here. You dare betray Team Rocket? What? What do you mean betray? When was I ever on your side? You traitor! What do you mean? If you stand for justice, you betray us bad guys. That's not what that word means. That rotten president serves him right for shipping me off to the Tixie branch. That's why Team Rocket came after us, I'm sure of it. So why do you still reference the Tixie branch? Whatever. Tixie is a real place, in case I didn't bring that up in Generation 1, or if you're just joining us for FireRed and LeafGreen. Tixie branch? It's in Russian no man's land! So Russia exists in the Pokemon universe. Although this guy almost certainly does not exist in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee's version of Silphco. So I guess in the most recent version of Kanto, no, Russia does not exist. But in this one, Russia's a real-ass place, and I want to know what Pokemon are living there. Bingo! The card key opened the door. HP up. Alright. And an X special. Let's use that HP up on Umi. Kind of the most obvious candidate. Alright, that's all for this floor. On to the 7th floor. Yippee! Uh-oh, I smell a little mouse. I'm not a mouse. I am the mouse. I'm trapped. Okay, bingo, the card key, open the door. What's in here? You, it's really dangerous here. You came to save me? You can't. It would be bad if Team Rocket took over Sylph or our Pokemon. Team Rocket was after the Master Ball, which catches any Pokemon. Alright. Hi, Blue. I see you up there. Or Aiden, I guess. Same difference. I am one of the 4 Rocket Brothers. Great. TM08 Bulk Up. This increases the attack and defense stat by 1 stage. It's a very, very, very good move. And there is a Pokemon who I really want to know if can learn it. Damn it. I was really hoping Ryan would be able to learn Bulk Up. Paldean Tauros can learn it, and it throws me off a little. At level 34, Ryan is trying to learn Rest. I really want Rest on Ryan, but I like Hyper Beam. It's so strong. I would get rid of Strength if I could, but I can't right now. I'll save this for later. There's a move relearner that we'll be seeing in the post-game, and I also have the TM for Rest if I want it that bad before then. Found a Calcium at the end of this floor. This increases special attack, so... Gester. Gester and Ryan are going to be getting a lot of the EV items because they're, like, the newest team members and they have the least EVs. Up on the 8th floor. That's as far as you'll go. That's as far as you'll go! Birdo gave me nightmares as a kid because of that. Don't appear to be any shutters on this floor. Team Rocket's boss is terribly cruel. To him, Pokemon are just tools to be used. What will happen if that tyrant takes over our company? Don't think that's gonna happen. There's a nugget in this plant. And an iron in here. That increases the defense. What are we giving that to? I'll say Rhine. I am one of the 4 Rocket Brothers. I think this is the 4th one. So we fought all of them after him. I'll leave you up to my brothers. Your brothers are already dead. Well, not dead, but, you know. I wonder if Sylph is finished. Me too. You're causing us problems. Yeah, on purpose even. Felt a little silly. So, what do you think of Sylph Building's maze? Why is there a maze? On to the 9th floor. We're back to the place with all the shutters. Awesome. We've already been in here. This is how we got to the card key. And I already fought this guy because I was trying to find the card key. And we're back to the lady who will let you rest, so... I guess there's literally nothing on this floor. 10th floor. Bingo! No items, of course. Wow, I'm scared! Me too. Enough of your silly games! Yeah, sure. Tauros is gonna play the silliest game of all with you, Travis. Which is using Intimidate and then switching out immediately because he is not really equipped to deal with Steel-type Pokemon. Are you satisfied with beating me? Then go on home. Yeah, okay. I'm not, though. Welcome to 10F! So good of you to join me! Thanks! Machoke. Not a very Team Rocket Pokemon. This isn't the first one I've seen in here, though, so... Okay. Ranger to level 36, beating that guy's Machoke. And there's 3 items in here. A Carbos, that increases speed EVs by 10. Rare Candy. Great item. And an Ultra Ball. Anything else? Nope. Going to go ahead and use that Carbos on Ryan. He'll be caught up in no time at this rate. On to the 11th and final floor. I don't think there's any shutters here, it's just trainers, so here we go. Ryan obliterated that guy, and at the very end, Zinc. This increased special defense, I think? Yep. That is going on Umi. I could have used it on Lamp, too. It's kind of interchangeable between the two. They're both kind of special tanks. Alright, back on the 3rd floor. Here we go. Let's actually do this battle now. It's a pretty picture of a Pokemon. It looks like it's feeling good. Well, that's good. What kept you, Winter? I thought you'd turn up if I waited here. I guess Team Rocket slowed you down. Not that I care. I saw you with Saffron, so I decided to see if you got better. Well, okay. I've never once lost to you, other than that time when I did, but that doesn't count. Rival Aiden. Leading with Pidgeot, level 37, normal flying type, keen eye for the ability, knowing the moves Wing Attack, Feather Dance, Quick Attack, and Whirlwind. Whirlwind can get a bit annoying. He can force your Pokemon to switch out just on a whim if he feels like it. But otherwise, Pidgeot isn't the strongest thing in the world, and I think Tauros easily outmatches it, so yeah, there we go. What's next? Gyarados. Gyarados is level 35 or 38, water flying type, Intimidate for the ability, knowing the moves Dragon Rage, Twister, Bite, and Leer. Not a single stab move on this thing. Also, not a single physical move, so I can feel free to use Swagger on it. It did lower my attack, so I'm probably gonna switch out, but hey, I can at least give it the chance of hitting itself and dealing like a ton of damage. Look at that. That's like a third of its health from a single Swagger. You can also use Stagger again to stack the attack boosts, which, on a Pokemon that has no physical attacks but a really high attack stat, yeah, that's pretty strong. And at this point, we can just finish it off with Return. The amount of bounces in a Pokemon using Return's animation will show you how strong it is. Return is getting a lot stronger on Rhine already. Charizard is level 40, Fire Flying type, Blaze for the ability, knowing the moves Scary Face, Flamethrower, Smokescreen, and Wing Attack. You'll see the other starters on the sidebar. This thing does have a physical move, and I am too scared to use Swagger on it. I am just gonna switch out into Umi. Level 40 is pretty high, and his Pokemon being fully evolved is also kinda scary. Almost all of his Pokemon are, but if he doesn't have a Gyarados, he has 2 unevolved Pokemon instead of only 1, so that's a little embarrassing for him. Wing Attack, not gonna do too much coming from a 65 base power move. Charizard's attack stat isn't bad, the issue really is just that Wing Attack is bad. So, oh, we eat a Flamethrower. That's not doing anything. Did more than I expected, actually. And burned, but whatever. We at least take it out with Surf. Alright, not bad. Brian to level 37, caught up with the rest of the team. Execute. Execute is level 35 or 38, Grass Psychic type, Chlorophyll for the ability, knowing the moves Confusion, Hypnosis, Leech Seed, and Stun Spore. Not a single attacking Grass type move. Interesting choice for your Grass type, dude. And we have Aurora Beam and Bite to do super effective damage. Not gonna take it out, and we're probably gonna go down to Confusion on the next turn, but whatever. Our team has been performing very well in this battle, all things considered. We lived? We're still gonna faint to the burn, but okay. Go off, Umi. Okay. Alakazam is level 35 Psychic type, Synchronize for the ability, knowing the moves Future Sight, Calm Mind, Reflect, and Recover. Okay, let's Really doesn't matter who I send in. Since it only has Future Sight as an attack, and that does typeless damage, not psychic type damage, it does not have a super effective move against Gaster, and we can feel free to just Shadow Punch it. There we go. Alright. Oh man, so you are ready for Boss Rocket. Well, Winter, I'm moving on up and ahead. By checking my Pokédex, I'm starting to see what's strong and how they evolve. Am I a genius or what? I'm going to the Pokemon League to boot out the Elite Four. I'll become the world's most powerful trainer. Winter, well, good luck to you. Don't sweat it. Smell ya. So he already has 8 badges? After defeating the rival here, you get a free Lapras from this guy. I have no nickname for it. It'll be transferred to the PC. It's a Lapras. It's a very intelligent Pokemon. We kept it in our lab, but it will be much better off with you. I think you will be a good trainer for Lapras. It's a good swimmer. It'll give you a lift across water. Alright. Now that we have Lapras, let's go over it real quick. While I do the next battle, probably, because there's one more guard here. Lapras is an excellent Pokemon in single player. With a massive HP stat of 130 and access to rest, Lapras has enormous staying power on top of its ridiculously deep move pool, getting access to Psychic, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Surf, Thunderbolt, and more, on top of Roar to force inconvenient foes to switch out. Choosing a move real quick. Lapras' bulk also lends itself quite nicely to moves like Toxic or Substitute, allowing Lapras to stall out its foes instead of directly attacking them. Lapras' main weakness comes from its typing. The Ice type is by far the worst type defensively, being weak to Rock, Steel, Fighting, and Fire. And while the Water type eliminates the Steel and Fire weaknesses, those aren't really the ones Lapras needs to worry about. Water also adds additional weaknesses to Grass and Electric, much more common offensive types than Steel and Fire. Lapras suffers less from this than other members of its type due to its high stats, but it's not immune. One good hit from an electric move will be seriously devastating to Lapras. Overall, Lapras is a great Pokemon. It's outclassed by several other bulky water types, but its move pool at least grants it at least a bit of an edge against some of its competition. Don't! Please! Don't what? So, you want to see my boss? Okay. The way he said that was very silly. Alright, anything in these plants? Yes, a revive. I guess check every plant in here because you're bound to get a bunch of items from it. Here we go.
Ah, Winter. So, we meet again. The President and I are discussing a vital business proposition. Keep your nose out of grown-up matters, or experience a world of pain.
Giovanni! Boss Giovanni, even. It's leading with Nidorino, level 37, Poison type. Poison point for the ability, knowing the moves Horn Attack, Poison Sting, Helping Hand, and Fury Attack. In case you're fighting him in a double battle. This thing is kind of a pathetic lead. Poison Sting as its main stab option is kind of awful. And of course it's the move that it's choosing to use. Okay, that was gross. I think we just take this out here. Poison Point going off early kinda sucks, but I'm not really expecting to use Rhine for most of this battle. Nidoqueen is level 41, Poison Ground type, Poison Point for the ability, knowing the moves Double Kick, Tail Whip, Poison Sting, and Body Slam. Still not a great moveset, but better than Nidorino's at least. Can do at least some chip damage with Return, and then I'm gonna switch out, I think. Yeah. I will switch into Umi. There's not really any reason not to switch into Lamp. I just think Umi is going to get this done faster with Surf than Lamp can with Flamethrower. Though it does feel a little bad that Lamp evolved in this episode and still has not had a chance to battle. but, you know, it happens. She'll get her chance. Nidoqueen is taken down. Level 38 for Umi. Got anything here? Nope. Okay. Kangaskhan, level 35, normal type. Early bird for the ability, knowing the moves Fake Out, Rage, Mega Punch, and Tail Whip. Not a great moveset, but Fake Out and Mega Punch are both kind of strong. Of course, it's going for Fake Out first. Why wouldn't it? I'm honestly a little shocked that the AI is smart enough to do that. I think I'm just going to poison it with Umi and then switch into Annabelle, probably, to do Brick Break. We could just use Surf here. Its special defense isn't the best. I mean, it's good. It's a bulky normal type, but... yeah, I'm gonna switch out. I could just switch into Gaster. This thing literally doesn't have a single move that can touch Gaster, but... That's like a last resort sort of thing here. Let's go for Brick Break, take it out. Hopefully. Maybe. Again, it's bulky. Not even close. Okay. Toxic will probably do about as much as Brick Break just did. There we go. I don't know if I already mentioned this in Pokemon Generation 1, but during this fight, I want to call attention to Pokemon Origins, which is a, like, short, like, 4-episode retelling of Pokemon Red and Blue, and it's an anime. It's interesting. I don't think it's as good as, like, standard Pokemon, like, the series or anything, but it's really solid. Red actually loses this battle to Giovanni. Like, he has a Nidoqueen, and it just kicks Red's Charizard's ass. And in that same series, I'm pretty sure Giovanni is voiced by... let me make sure I'm getting this name right, because I get it confused with another name often. Okay, yes, he's voiced by Jamieson Price, who also voices Sojiro Sakura in Persona 5. And the last time I watched this was very shortly after I beat Persona 5 for the first time, so it was so jarring to hear him in a villainous role.
Ugh! I lost again!
I don't know what that sound I made there was. That was not an ARG.
Blast it all! You ruined our plans for Sylph! But Team Rocket will never fall. Winter, never forget that all Pokémon exist for Team Rocket. I must go, but I shall return.
Okay. Thank you for rescuing all of us. We, from the President down, are indebted to you.
Oh, dear girl, thank you for saving Sylph. I will never forget you saved us in our moment of peril. I have to thank you in some way. Because I am rich, I can give you anything. Here, maybe this will do.
A Master Ball.
You can't buy that anywhere. It's our secret prototype Master Ball. It will catch...
I thought he said, I will catch any Pokemon.
It will catch any Pokemon without fail. You should be quiet about using it, though.
Okay. I don't know why I would use the PC here, actually. Can I dig to get out of here? You can't. I'm on the 11th floor. I love property damage. Okay, Saffron City's back to normal. No more Team Rocket. Yeah, Team Rocket's gone. It's safe to go out again. True. Okay, I'm gonna heal up because this poison animation is annoying. Alright, our first stop in the newly free Saffron City is the Copycat's house, as usual. Hi, Chansey. I caught one of you earlier. My daughter is so self-centered. She has but a few friends. Cool. My daughter likes to mimic people. It's rather vexing. This vexes me. Her mimicry has earned her the nickname Copycat around here. I hate stairs. Hi, you must like Pokemon. No, not me. I asked you. Pardon? You're weird? Quit mimicking. I don't know why my text is formatted this way, but that's my favorite hobby.
Grr! Pretty mirror, look at me. See how pretty I can be?
Okay, I still don't like that Doduo can talk. Not a fan of that. It's a rare Pokemon, yeah, sure. My secrets. Skill, mimicry. Hobby, collecting dolls. Favorite Pokemon, Clefairy. You don't guard your secrets very well, do you? If we go to her with a Pokédoll...
Oh wow, a Pokédoll! For me? Thank you! You know what? I can teach the move Mimic.
If you give her a Pokédoll, she will become a move tutor that will teach a Pokemon Mimic a single time. Mimic copies the last used move of the foe, replacing Mimic in the user's party with that move. It'll be copied with only 5 PP, but there are some very niche situations where this can be an insanely good option. For example, if you know an opponent is using Dragon Dance, you can give Dragon Dance to a Pokemon like Persian. Again, a niche usage case at best, and very rarely will it ever actually be helpful, but a use case nonetheless. Anyway, that's really all I had to go over in Saffron City before the gym. There's not much here. I mean, we could do, like, Seafoam Islands and the power plant, but I have a specific point in time when I want to do both of those, and that is not right now, so... let's head into the Saffron Gym. Yo, Cham in the making! Sabrina's Pokemon use Psychic power instead of Force. Fighting Pokemon are especially weak against Psychic Pokemon. They'll get destroyed before they can even aim a punch. Alright. Well, as with last time, the fastest way to Sabrina is just to go in a counterclockwise order, so... that is what I will be doing. And avoiding the trainers, because I don't really want to fight them. I did want to talk to this guy after beating him real quick, just to show that he does actually correct his dialogue again to add ghosts back into this. In Pokemon Yellow, this text was changed to say, Psychic Pokemon fear only bugs. It's ghosts and bugs again. Anyway, finally made it to Sabrina. I messed it up once, but it is just go whatever is the most, like, is the first counterclockwise direction you can whenever you reach a new area in the gym. I'm going to be leading with Lamp just because Ryan is already so high leveled and Lamp has not had a chance to do anything in this gym yet. I might regret this, but I might not. We'll see. I had a vision of your arrival. I have had psychic powers since I was a child. It started when a spoon I carelessly tossed bent. I dislike battling, but if you wish, I will show you my powers. I still don't understand why you're a gym leader if you dislike battling. Doesn't make sense to me. Sabrina's sprite is great in this game, by the way. Hello. Leader Sabrina is going to lead with Kadabra, level 38, Psychic type, synchronized for the ability, knowing the moves Psybeam, Reflect, Future Sight, and Calm Mind. We are going to go right away and use Flamethrower. I don't know why that sentence was so stunted, but it was. That's pretty good damage. That's honestly more than I was expecting, considering this is higher level than Lamp and, like, has decent special defense. Not good special defense, but decent. Her strategy is mostly going to revolve around using Calm Mind to increase her Pokemon's stats, so, you know, fun shit. Mr. Mime, level 37, Psychic type, soundproof for the ability, knowing the moves Barrier, Psybeam, Baton Pass, and Calm Mind. Mr. Mime's game is using Barrier and Calm Mind, then using Baton Pass to pass those stat changes onto another Pokemon. It can get a little frustrating if Mr. Mime is able to get away with it, but Mr. Mime will rarely ever actually be able to get away with it. Although its special defense is definitely higher than Kadabra's, so it's going to get at least one Calm Mind off. I'm just gonna keep going for Flamethrower. I feel like there's no real use in statusing it, so this makes sense to me. By allowing her Mr. Mime to set up for her other Pokemon, though, it allows her to have a Pokemon that can take more hits to set up and then just switch that onto a Pokemon that doesn't want to waste turns doing that. And it can be a little threatening when she actually manages to go through with it. Her AI does not really like doing that, though, so, you know, you see what they're going for, they just don't really go for it. Venomoth is level 38, Bug Poison type. Shield Dust for the ability, so if it gets a status condition, it will heal it off at the end of turns. Knowing the moves Psybeam, Gust, Leech Life, and Supersonic. I'm just gonna use Flamethrower, this will probably one-shot. I mean, I wasn't lying. Lamp definitely got a debut battle here. Not sure she's going to be able to take care of Sabrina's final Pokemon, but she took care of most of the team. Alakazam is level 43, Psychic type, synchronized for the ability, knowing the moves Psychic, Recover, Future Sight, and Calm Mind. This thing has Calm Mind and Psychic and Recover. That is a recipe for disaster. That can deal so much damage so quickly. Future Sight deals damage 2 turns after it's used. It deals typeless damage, and I believe it's like 100, 120 base power. It's ridiculously strong, and it can, like, it can allow Alakazam to combo you with Psychic into Calm Mind, or Psychic into Future Sight in 1 turn. That can be enough to easily tank, or take out any Pokemon, genuinely. It's that strong. Yeah, I'm just gonna use Grudge. I know this thing is taking out Lamp. If I can make sure it can't use Psychic again. Yep. Alakazam can no longer use Psychic. I can switch into Gaster pretty freely now. This is typeless damage, so it won't be super effective. And now we can just use Shadow Punch. It's gonna try to set up Future Sight again, but we'll have this thing taken out before it goes off. So, I think we can all agree that even though Gaster is finishing this battle off, this was definitely Lamp's fight. Lamp did all the heavy lifting here, getting Psychic off of this thing. Do you see why I wanted to wait for Grudge before evolving? I didn't even have this written in my notes to do this or anything. I just, like, fully, like, in that moment, I was like, oh, I got a chance to use Grudge! I was so excited, because I wanted any fucking validation for waiting to learn Grudge before evolving. Yeah, set up another Future Sight, go for it. You're not taking out Gaster. Do your best here. Like, you can use as many Hyper Potions as you want. You suck! Sorry, that was mean. This loss shocks me, but a loss is a loss. I admit I didn't work hard enough to win. Your victory has earned you the Marsh Badge. The Marsh Badge makes Pokemon up to level 70 obey you. Stronger Pokemon will become wild, ignoring your orders in battle. Just don't raise your Pokemon too much to avoid that problem. Wait, please take this TM with you. I don't know why she says that when that only applies to trade Pokemon. Psychic power isn't something that only a few people have. Everyone has psychic power. People just don't realize it. TM04 is Calm Mind. It makes the Pokemon concentrate to raise both special attack and special defense. Still don't understand why she doesn't tell you that after giving you it and instead you have to talk to her again. Calm Mind is an excellent move. This is as close to Amnesia as we're going to be getting in this gen. Like Gen 1 Amnesia. Because it increases special defense and special attack by a single stage. Can anyone learn this? No. We've been getting so unlucky with TM compatibility on this team. And not unlucky, really, I guess, because, like, it's not up to luck. But, still. I almost forgot to talk to Gym Guy. Psychic power, huh? If I had that, I'd make a bundle at the slots. Dude, you don't need that. Just get the 300 coins off the ground, and then just go for it. Get lucky on the machine. Get the lucky machine on accident. Do what I did. With that done, we've done everything we can do up through our 6th gym battle, other than the stuff I chose not to do. So next time on Pokemon Generation FireRed and LeafGreen, you thought you got me there, but you didn't. We are going to be surfing south of Pallet Town to head to Cinnabar Island. Yeah, we're saving the Seafoam Islands for a bit later. There's a reason for this, I promise. I'll see you guys then.